This portion of Local Lifestyles was sponsored by Oxbow Electric.
Well, we're entering that season of indoor and outdoor decorating and entertaining, and so we need to know what should be on our safety checklist. Thankfully, Ellen Topper and Cody Matzel of Oxbow Electric have a helpful list. It's good to see both of you again.
Good to see you.
So we're going to go outside. You know, we're going to plug in our Halloween lights and then our Christmas lights. What do we need to be aware of before we light up the town like, you know, Christmas vacation?
Well, there are several things that we need to pay attention to before starting our fall decorating and as we bring in the summer decorations as well. So one of the things that you want to do is check all of your outdoor outlets and make sure that the connections are good. You don't have any loose or damaged outlets. If it's an exterior outlet, it needs to be a GFCI protected outlet, and it should also have a weatherproof in-use cover to protect it from the elements.
Well, that was one of the things I was going to ask you because, Cody, I know you've seen this, a plug on the outside of the house with not a cover to be seen. So that's not code. How does that happen?
They just get broken over time.
Okay.
People plugging in, plugging out. You know, they get broken.
Overuse, and then nobody replaces it.
Exactly.
So that's why you need to have that inspected. What else do we need to consider before we get crazy with our decorations?
Other things that you might want to consider are making sure that you check your cords, to check the integrity of the cords, make sure there's no nicks or cuts or any of the insulation missing. And that goes for cords you use outside as well as cords you use inside your house. You know, we often try to limp along our phone chargers when they start to fray, and we really shouldn't do that.
Have you been to my house? Have you been looking at my stuff, Ellen?
So we really shouldn't do that, and so make sure you inspect your cords anytime before you plug them into any outlet, because it is a safety hazard to be using a damaged or frayed cord. And if you have an appliance that does have that, either repair the cord or get rid of the appliance and get a new one.
Well, one of the concerns always, but especially this time of year, are smoke detectors, because fires happen because of those damaged cords. So what do we need to be ready about, you know, CO2 and smoke?
Okay. Yeah, the first thing is to test the smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors that you have regularly. We recommend at least every 6 months to test to make sure they're working. The lifespan of a smoke detector is 10 years, so if you've had one longer than 10 years, you do need to replace it. But there are also certain locations per code, which Cody can go over, for both carbon monoxide detectors and smoke detectors.
So we just can't put them anywhere, Cody. That's what you're saying.
Sure.
I can't put it right next to the door frame.
Sure. They need to be in every bedroom, right outside of every bedroom, in like the hallway area of the bedroom, and they need to be on every floor. And then today's code, they need to be interconnected. So if one goes off, you know, in the bedroom, they all go off in the whole house.
Oh, that makes sense, because back in the day, you bought individual ones that were all battery powered.
Exactly.
And, and so how do we test them? Is there a particular way? Okay.
There's a button on every smoke detector. You can go up there and press and hold it, and they all should go off. And if they don't, then, you know, you probably need to get that checked out.
And what a noise they make when they do that. We just have a few seconds left, and I do want to touch on the space heaters. Be careful with the space heaters.
Yes, be careful with your space heaters. Make sure that they're in a clear area. There's nothing that you put over them or right next to them. You also need to check the cords on those appliances. If they're starting to trip your breakers, you need to consult an electrician.
There's your red flag. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Have a great day.
We'll be back with more Local Lifestyles right after this. Check your breakers.